Hey, how's everybody doing? Wednesday night here, Hackers and Soldiers. Welcome back to the table. Got a pre-battle rundown for you set up here. This is the Battle of Ligny, 16th of June, 1815. The Red troops, yeah, that's the British. They're going to be the stunt doubles for the Prussians. I haven't pulled them off the sprue yet or based them, so we will be using the Prussians, but I did finish, I think I featured this in the last video, the windmill, but that'll be prominent in this video as well. Then we have the church, my first ever church. Built and painted this a couple nights ago. Came out nice. And it even, on the box it showed the walls and the gravestones. And I thought, well, that's cool, but it's not included. It is included. And they even made they even laser cut the headstones so that they're not perfectly symmetrical. So if you can see, they look kind of crooked, little cattywampus. They were cut like that, and that is detail that is appreciated. Again, so they don't look like a set of teeth or some combs. They look like some jankety old headstones. Church itself was easy enough to build. I thought about doing a build video for you. Probably the easiest thing I have built to date. Having built Laissant and windmill even, this thing went together very nicely. Primed it with gray and paint, slapped some brown paint and some red paint on it and some black gray paint, and that was it. I really kind of raced through it. But finally I have a church, and I've always felt kind of on the stream and bridge thing. It's kind of cliche for these battles, but this was an important feature of the battle. So we have three, at least for setup anyway, we have three primary areas. Now we have the French setup area here, which is demarcated from this tree to here, and from said tree to other said tree and back. So I started, and I don't know why I haven't done this in the past, but using terrain features to mark boundaries. Now we have the Armand area itself here, and that's within the square formed by the windmill and these trees here. And then we have the other Prussian setup area, which extends about 6 inches, 8 inches from the edge of the table, from that tree all the way over to that tree and back. So if we run down with the troops, we have, what do we have here? Some chasseurs cheval. Not a lot of cavalry fought in this battle, so not a lot of cavalry on the table. Then we have, we have some light infantry, which are noted here as troops without a flag. The ones with the flag will be line. And then we have 2, 3. Oh, on the third, I have to remember that. 4, okay. 1, 2, 3. There's a Swiss regiment I forgot to represent here. So alright, so let's back up. So this is our first unit group, which consists of line and light. Attached artillery. This is the artillery ammunition marker. It has 5. Once it goes down to 0, you can only fire at pretty much adjacent units. Second unit group here with attached artillery, commander-in-chief, and third unit group here coming up the road, and that's the one that has the Swiss regiment that I need to remember to mark. And then fourth unit group here with attached artillery. Now up here for the Prussians, represented by the British, we have in the Armand area, Jago. So 2 Prussian musketeers, 4 Prussian musketeers, 2 Prussian landwehr, and foot artillery unit. So again, the ones without the flags are the landwehr, and then commander-in-chief right yonder. Then we have the third, see that's first, so that's second unit group there with, you notice those guys? Those are actually Silesian Schützen, or I guess for lack of a better, you could use Prussian Jager stats for those if you're going by black powder. And I've used the rifles that are included in the British set to represent them. And then the ginormous, let's see, most of that is the third Prussian unit group consisting of musketeers and landwehr. The landwehr are actually Westphalian landwehr in each of these three Prussian unit groups. So that's the setup. For those of you that know the history, good for you. For those of you that don't, look it up. Battle of Ligny, important battle in 1815, part of the Waterloo campaign. 100 days. How do you win this puppy? Well, at the end of the game turn, it looks like there's 8 game turns. At the end of game turn 8, if any French units are within, it says 9 inches of the village and no Prussian units are within 9 inches, the French win. If any Prussian units are within 9 inches of the village and no French units are within 9 inches, the Prussians win. And if both sides have units within 9 inches, it's a draw. Now, I may amend the inches of the victory conditions, not exactly sure on that, but we'll see. Also, the Prussians will get a die roll modifier for being within church walls there as a defensive bonus. Windmill really plays no part other than aesthetics and marking off a corner of this Armand area here. Anything else? The hexes you see here I usually conform to and have used for regulation of movement and firing ranges. That will not be the case this time. I will forego the conforming to the hex and using measuring sticks. So this would be roughly, I think, 3 inches, 6 inches, and then 9 inches. So 9 inches really will only be able to be used for long-range artillery, which doesn't quite work out according to the black powder rules, but I use my own movement and range stuff. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. I think that covers everything. For those of you that watched the last video, I'll be using the exact same rules, a kind of hodgepodge mix of stuff I've been filling with, especially if you've seen any of the card game stuff I've been designing. That. So after you conduct an action, you roll to see if you're spent. If you're not spent, you get a stress marker, and you're allowed to conduct another action on the next turn or the next round. It's because it's kind of you go, I go, which typically I don't like, but it works out in this case. And then if you fail your spent check, you're done for that turn. It's ripped off straight from the Conflict of Heroes stuff, and it works great for this as well. It's really a hoot. I mean, it's kind of reinvigorated my gaming life, this whole spent die check. It flows nicely. It's almost music. It's like a war game music you can listen to. The spent roll die roll check. All right, so that's it. This is Ligny. That's the pre-battle start, setup, rundown, breakdown, etc. Don't know that I'll be doing this live, so I should be starting this within a day or two this weekend at the latest. But stay tuned for the kickoff of this, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, talk to you later.